My teacher entered the wrong grade and it saved my scholarship, but the truth was sitting right there in red ink and I couldn't ignore it. I still remember the night I opened that email. It was close to midnight, and my dorm room smelled like ramen and cold coffee. I just finished another round of stressing over my grades when I saw it. The notification from my professor. Final exam grade, 92%. For a second, I thought it was a typo. I'd been sure I bombed that test. Half the questions felt like they were written in another language. I reread the email 3 times, my heart racing faster each time. 92. That meant I'd keep my GPA above the scholarship line. That meant I could stay in school. I remember laughing out loud, the kind of laugh that comes from relief more than joy. I texted my mom right away. I did it. I passed everything. I'm safe. For the first time all semester, I slept easy. A week later, we were told we could pick up our exams. I stopped by my professor's office after class. She wasn't there, but the stack of graded papers was sitting on her desk, names sticking out like bookmarks. Mine was near the top. I pulled it out, flipped to the front page, and froze. In big red ink, it said 72, not 92. For a few seconds, I just stared at it. I checked the name, the handwriting, everything. It was definitely my paper. My stomach dropped so fast I felt sick. That 20-point difference wasn't small. It was the line between keeping my scholarship and losing it. I just stood there, holding the paper, my brain buzzing. The grade entered in the system was wrong. I hadn't earned that 92. Someone, probably a TA, had made a mistake. I could fix it. I could walk down to the registrar, explain what happened, and they'd change it back, or I could not. It wasn't my error. It wasn't like I'd cheated. I slid the paper into my backpack and walked out. My hands were shaking. I told myself it wasn't my fault, that I didn't owe them the truth. That night, I tried to study for another class, but all I could see was that red number, 72. For the first time, my 92 didn't feel like luck. It felt like a lie, one sitting in my gradebook, holding up my entire future. The guilt didn't go away. For the next week, every time I saw my professor walking down the hall, my stomach flipped. She was this calm, kind woman who always remembered everyone's name. She once brought cookies to class because midterms make people mean. And there I was, hiding a mistake that could change everything for me. And for her too, if someone found out. I couldn't sleep. Every time I checked my bank app, I thought about how much I couldn't afford tuition without that scholarship. My mom already worked 2 jobs. I told her she didn't need to worry this semester, but the lie sat heavy on me, like a weight I couldn't shake off. Finally, one afternoon, I walked to her office. My hands were sweating so badly I left fingerprints on the doorknob. She looked up from her desk and smiled. "Oh, hi, need help with something?" I swallowed hard. "I think there's been a mistake with my exam grade." I handed her the paper, showing her the red 72 on the front. She stared at it for a moment, then checked her laptop. Her eyebrows knit together. "You're right," she said quietly. "It looks like someone entered it wrong." The silence after that felt like hours. Then she looked up at me. "Thank you for telling me. That was it. No long speech. No pat on the back. Just calm honesty." She corrected the grade right there. When I walked out, I already knew what it meant. I'd lose my scholarship. I'd have to take out a loan, maybe get another job. My hands were still shaking, but this time it wasn't fear. It was relief. That night I cried a little, not because I regretted it, but because it hurt. Doing the right thing doesn't always feel good. Sometimes it just feels heavy. A month later, I got an email from the same professor. She was running a small research project and needed assistance. She said she thought of me first, because honesty is rare and I can teach skills, but not character. That position paid enough to cover my next semester. I don't know if I believe in karma, but I do know this. Sometimes you lose something you thought you couldn't live without, and life hands you something better. Not money, not comfort, but peace. And that's worth a lot.